This right here is the HCalory Toolbox Diesel Heater. It can hold 2 gallons of diesel within it, so you're not having to use an external tank. We are in the Great Mountains of Prescott, Arizona. And what's a better way to test this and show you guys everything that it could do than actually camping with it? So let's get right into it. The dimensions on this diesel heater are 12 by 10 by 10, so it's not too bad of a size. When it's filled with diesel, I say it weighs 15 to 20 pounds. Looking on the exterior, right here, you have the exhaust hose thing. So you put the tube in that comes in the accessory parts and the thing, and that pumps out all the bad, air that you don't want to be breathing in. You come over here, this right here is the intake that brings air in, and then there's the power for when you, plug it in. So then coming on this side, this is the outtake. So you put your tube in there, run it into your tent, and that's where the hot air goes into your tent. Up on the top here, we have the nozzle to, put diesel in. And then this is like the, weather resistant design that they came up with. So you just like pop this open for the screen. Here's the screen, so when it's powered on, there'll be an LED screen, has all the different stuff. And then this is a little remote that you can bring into your tent, and it counts as a thermometer and a carbon monoxide detector. Pretty cool. I think that's the first time I've heard of something like that actually happening. So that's pretty cool. So if you have this in your tent, it'll detect the carbon monoxide and tell you to get out basically. And you can just set the temperature you want. It'll read the temperature and it'll tell the diesel heater to keep it at that temperature in your tent. On this side of the heater, you got the sticker for the toolbox. And here you can gauge how much diesel you have left. This is, completely full, so you can't really tell, but maybe if it drops down in here, I can show you tomorrow morning. Here's the other box that comes with it. This just has all the accessories in it. They have a power cord because you need power for the diesel heater to, ignite stuff. They send, just random adapters and stuff. Here is the tube basically where you put it on the heater and run it into your tent, made out of aluminum. And here's the exhaust tube right here. And then the tip that goes on the exhaust tube. I'm not exactly sure why you need this. Anyone in the comments knows why, let me know. I am curious why they put this in there. Here's another power cord to connect to your car battery. I won't be using that. And here is an extended cord for the control panel in there. If you don't want to use the remote, you can extend it into your tent for some reason. I don't know if they include that. I don't see why you would need to use that. Here's just different mounts that you can use, for your application where you want this. Another vent tip. Here's the tightening things to make sure that the tube doesn't come off, the diesel heater. So when you put this on, you just put the bigger one on, tighten it down, and call it a day. And then they give you little feet that I forgot to install when I filled it up with diesel, so I'm not going to do it yet. But they're just little rubber feet that you can put on. Now, HCalory does have an app you can use to control the diesel heater. I will go over that in a second. Let's see how much power it draws when you start her up. So to power this, the cord I'm using is I'm going to plug it into my EcoFlow. It's just a normal, wall outlet plug. And then I believe this kind of has like a little bit of battery in it because when you turn this off, you're not supposed to just unplug it and kill the power. There is a few minute long, turn off system to turn it off correctly, or it might not start up correctly next time you start it. So make sure, you leave it plugged in when you turn it off. So I only have my fridge really plugged into the EcoFlow right now, but it's not drawing anything. So let's get this plugged in and see how much it draws when you start it. All right, I got it plugged in. Let's turn her on. So you just open this. Okay. I think I'm going to use the app real quick to turn it on. Here's the app. I'll do an overlay of a screen recording. Let's go ahead and get it started. Click heating. Yes, activate device. Heating now. Let's see. You can hear the device start maybe with the mic. Let's see how many watts it draws. So as you can see, it's drawing around 100 and something watts for the startup procedure. So during startup, it's drawing 110, 105 watts. Now, while that's doing its thing and heating up, you are going to hear it working and stuff, but they do pride this on being a really quiet one. So I will be testing that during the night and give you my honest opinion on how quiet it is. You can really hear it starting to go now and smell it. I haven't hooked up any of the tubes yet because I'm not gonna put it on my tent yet. But this is what I think I'm gonna do, is just leave it here, run the tube up there. So on this little remote, while it's running, you can see how it says H3. So you can go up and down modes and you can see the bars. Or you can go down here and set a temperature, and hopefully it'll keep it at the temperature. Now it's only been a couple minutes, but I can feel the heat coming out. And since I have it at a high level, it is dumping right now. And you can come over here, you can feel it intaking here. And then on the back is that exhaust where all the nasty air comes out. While it's running, it is drawing currently 30 watts. And according to my battery, it'll run it for 27 hours. On their website, they do claim that this, while running after the startup sequence, is around 60 something decibels. I'd say that's about true. Once we get in the tent, we'll probably only be able to hear it a little bit. It's really not that loud. And a lot of these diesel heaters, their fuel pump will like click. I only hear clicking when this first starts, so that's really impressive. It is currently dumping out some nice warm air, and it draws a little bit of power just every once in a while and then cuts out. As you can maybe see, there's something a little deadly out here. It's not drawing any power right now, and then it jumps up to 20 watts, probably just for the ignition or whatnot. On their website, they do claim that this, while running after the startup sequence, is around 60 something decibels. I'd say that's about true. Once we get in the tent, we'll probably only be able to hear it a little bit. It's really not that loud. And a lot of these diesel heaters, their fuel pump will like click. I only hear clicking when this first starts, so that's really impressive. When you deactivate the device, it'll give you this error. So yeah, make sure you do not unplug it from power. It needs power to turn off. When it gets close to bedtime, I'll show you guys how I'm gonna set it up into the tent and tell you guys how it feels in the tent, and I'll let you know in the morning how it did. Okay, you guys can see that it is nighttime. Time to set up the diesel heater. We had dinner here, you know, this is where we prep our dinner. So this is why we had to wait a little bit later to set up the diesel heater. So let's start with step one. Step one is obviously plug in the cord back here and then plug it into whatever power bank or source of power you have. So messing with the venting, they decided to send in the package probably the most useless piece of venting I've ever seen. It's like 2 feet long. So we had to get creative and stack it on 2 bins. So I'm gonna go buy, it's just like normal dryer venting. So I'm gonna go buy like an 8-foot piece. I don't know why they don't just send an 8-foot piece. It can't be that much cheaper. But anyway, that's how we ran the venting. And then for the exhaust for the bad fumes, I just ran it out to here. It's not really near an opening to the tent. It's just gonna go out to the ether. And it's a little windy, so it's just gonna blow it away. But that's how I ran it. I really hope this doesn't melt the box if it gets hot. I guess we're gonna find out, huh? So that's it, kind of set up. There's not really much else you have to do unless you wanted, I guess, run another tube here or do something about that. But yeah, I will let you know when we go to bed on how it's feeling. All right, we have climbed in the tent, got the little remote. I have it on level 2 for this heater, and it's like a sauna in here. It's pretty good, it's dumping out heat. I'm gonna turn it off and then just turn it back on in the morning. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. It's the morning, it's about like 7:40, 8 a.m. I forgot to update you guys because we went to bed on my new system to fit the diesel heater. So it still wasn't tall enough on 2 boxes, so I put 2 dog bowls. And then when I ran this, that tube didn't get too hot, but it must have got hot and was touching it, you know, bouncing back and forth in the wind. It melted a little bit, but that's not too big of an issue. So good morning, it kept us nice and warm, so that was great. Morgan's still in there being all warm. I had to get up because Big Mike over here, he has this really strict wake up time and go to the bathroom time. I don't know, what are you doing, Tyson? Tyson, what are you doing? What do you got in there? But yeah, he has a really strict, I gotta get up and go to the bathroom time, and it's around 7 a.m. every day. So I am up, we are going to just have a slow morning. I'm in the tent to heat up. Oh my gosh, this is extremely nice. It is pretty cold out there. It's like probably 30 something, below 30s. This is pretty nice to heat up. All right guys, that does the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I covered everything.
I was camping. I actually wanted to test it, so if I forgot anything, my bad. So far, this thing is pretty sick. We barely used any fuel. You can barely see. We just ran it on low the whole time, and it kept us warm the entire time. I am going to be upgrading the vent. Definitely, if you order this, do that. I'm going to have a link down below. Should give you a discount. And, you know, a link down below if you want to purchase this exact heater. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I post content like this. And if you want to see the camping trip on where I did this, this will be posted after, so it'll already be posted on my page. So just go to my page and find the most recent camping video. Have a good one.